And here goes this part, right? Where you're helping your clients determine their goals, their plans, and their actions. So in the third session, this is where you're going to determine your client's goal priorities. You're going to help them articulate step by step what are the actions that are required. You're going to help them uncover any roadblocks that are going to get in the way of them taking the action that they want to take. You want to make a plan to overcome those roadblocks. And really important, you want to really ascertain a really strong why. Like, what are the benefits of them taking these actions? What are the benefits of them having what they want? And although they have already said it before, right, you want to hear it from them again and again. You want to have them really give you these reasons, and then you want to commit to a completion date for each action. So in between sessions, I try to limit the actions to no more than 3, right? Because 3 is a really powerful number. It really helps people think, 1, 2, 3, boom, I'm done. And then after they're done, they're feeling good, they can do more. They can do more things on their own. But 3 is a really good number for the mind for the mind to really keep in mind. 3 actions, no more than that. And so here comes, you doing your first the third coaching session with them after you read them the vision statement, the 30-day goal setting form. And so you can use this form like to create goals for 30 days. You can use the form to create goals for, a week or 2 weeks. It's the same formula, but in that third session, you want to kind of set goals for 30 days so that you have like a nice amount of things to work on. Okay. And so I would love to have a volunteer for this one. But first, let me see if my video is working. We can watch that video before we go on break. And then we can do this form. We can do the form when we come back. And my video is not working. So I would like someone would someone like to be coached on their goals for the next 30 days? And then essentially, these are the questions that you're going to be asked. What's the goal that you would like to be coached on? What specific actions are you willing to take in order to complete the goal? Can you think of roadblocks that can get in the way of your ability to accomplish the goal? What specific actions can you take around each of these roadblocks, right? Because roadblocks are going to happen. And then asking the why, question 5, right? Why is accomplishing this goal so important to you? What benefits are you going to gain? And then 6 is imagining, like, what have you imagined that you already got it, right? You already got what you want. How are you going to feel? Again, right? Always trying to tap into the feeling of what they want. What is it going to look like? What are you going to hear? And then based on all the things that the person said they're willing, the actions you're willing to take, it's setting some completion dates around that action. And then questions 8 to 10 is getting more into the psyche. To accomplish this goal, how do you need to be feeling? And then number 9, what can you do every day to feel the way you want to feel naturally? And then lastly, please finish the sentence for me. To easily accomplish this goal, the thoughts I need to keep thinking are, right? So that's where like we come up with a mantra or an affirmation. So before we go on break, who would like to be coached on their goals for the next 30 days?
I don't mind.
Alyssa. Okay. So Alyssa, let's take a 10-minute break now.
Okay.
And then when we come back, I'll model this for y'all so that you can be ready to do this with your partner. Okay, so stop sharing. Pause here. I'll be back. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay. So we just went through and did a coaching session with Alyssa on what this would look like for her to achieve her goal in in 30 days. And as I said before, we want to assume, right, at the end of every session, we want to set up another appointment. At the beginning of the coaching relationship, I usually start to coach people weekly to build momentum. And then once they have their footing, I will switch to biweekly. And it really all depends on what they need and what I'm available for. So in with the example of Alyssa having said that her first goal was to ensure that, you know, the first action that she's going to take is to ensure that she's protected and she's clear on what's on the contract. That is what we would, you know, really focus on for our next session. So during that next session, what we would do is that we are going to, in that fourth and ongoing sessions, what we will do is, number one, we're going to review the goal that we set in the previous coaching session, and we're going to acknowledge the accomplishment. So I would ask Alyssa, is finding a new job within the next 30 days still your goal? She says, yes. Okay, great. Let's keep moving forward. How did you do with being able to check on the contract? What was the progress that was made? Right. So first, we want to like stay in this first space for a little while, acknowledge what was actually done. Naturally, clients are going to want to tell you everything that they didn't do, and so I want you to like just stay aware of that and stop them and have them acknowledge what did they do. So let's say Alyssa is to look like she looked for the contract but didn't find it. Alyssa called HR but still hasn't received the contract. Alyssa called her attorney friends but still hasn't had an appointment. We want to acknowledge the fact that she attempted all of these things and ask her, did you do anything else? Right? Because there's a whole nother list of things that she could have been working on if something didn't work. So was there anything else that you did do? And she could have told me, like, you know what, I actually found some positions that incorporate everything that I want. You know, I spoke to someone. Like, we want to like list out all the different things that she actually did, including her thinking. And everything that she did, we want to acknowledge it, right? Listening in the way that like we're listening, we're rephrasing back to her, this is what you did, and saying in acknowledge in acknowledgement and acknowledging that. What else is there? Is there anything else until you get a complete list of everything that she did? I get the sense that Alyssa, not only is she going to do what she said she was going to do, but she's going to do a whole lot more. So we want to really acknowledge everything that she does first and really keep her from saying and telling you the things that she didn't do. Then, if there was something that she said that she was going to do that didn't happen, or some kind of obstacle came up, we want to really identify what those are, what were the roadblocks, and then and determine what can we do to get around those roadblocks next time. So, for example, if let's say Alyssa she froze and she decided that she was gonna, you know, go find positions and apply for them and reach out to people, but she never did the contract thing. Then, like, we need to address what happened. What made you freeze? Like, really have a conversation around that. You know, how important is it for you to get this position between a 1 and a 10? right? And because there's something that she's getting, let's say, out of not doing the things that she said she was going to do, or something came up. So just acknowledging that, and then setting up some actions for her to get in front of that if those roadblocks were to come up again. And then once those two things are done, um, excuse me, going back to the first paragraph, it's also celebrating what she actually did, right? And the acknowledging is also the celebration piece. And oh, amazing job. That's wonderful. Round of applause, yay, screaming, whatever feels natural, really celebrating what she actually accomplished. And then once you look at the roadblocks and then set up some strategies to get in front of those roadblocks, is using you can use a new coaching session goal form to then create new goals that she's going to work on between the time that you're meeting and the next time that you and the next time that you're together. So saying, okay, what's going to be, what do you want to accomplish? What's the goal between now and next time that we talk? Why do you want to accomplish this? Why is it so important? What could get in front of it? What do you need to keep thinking, right? And going like through the same process all over again. Because although you went through that motion at the beginning, the mind, this is a new process. And the mind needs to constantly be reminded, like, one, I'm allowed to want things, right? Two, let's really understand why I want this. What can get in the way? How can I get in front of it? What actions am I willing to take? When am I going to complete them by? And like, and the more specific and granular you can be, the higher your client's chances of success and actually getting stuff done, right? And keeping it like no more than 3 actions in between sessions. And going through that, the last piece again. How do you want to feel? How can you feel like that naturally? What do you need to keep telling yourself? And at the same time, also reminding them of listening to their vision statement, right? Because if like Alyssa was my client, within her vision statement would be her, feeling joyful and replenished and renewed and feeling wonderful at this new position where she's having an amazing impact, making an amazing, a great amount of money, etc. So this is what will happen, right? This is like you're repeating the same sequence in every single session. And at the end, always ensuring that you have an appointment in the calendars before you hang up the phone. So like my sessions with clients, they are usually like 50 minutes. And I always leave 5 minutes at the end to make sure that we have a time to meet, and also to make sure that like we're super clear on our goals. And I always ask the question, what was the most insightful part of this session for you? And you can have your own, you can come up with your own question. But I've come up with this process for myself because what I'll do in the notes is that I will highlight that. Like you said, like Alyssa said, that the most impactful part of the experience for her was to be able to kind of think big picture, but then also think about specific things that she could do to get over that roadblock of the contract that's been kind of getting in her way. I will say that in the notes, like, great session today. I'm so glad that you were able to see things, see the bigger picture, but also come up with a strategy to address what's been getting in the way. Right. And so what that's doing is really expressing the value of the session for the client, even after the session is over. And what the other reason why we do this is because like every relationship and the coaching relationship, we start out in the honeymoon phase. It's like, yes, I love you so much, you're helping me. And then from the honeymoon phase, right, goes like into the infatuation, like, yeah, I'm still really motivated. And then, right, we hit a peak and then we naturally start to plateau. Like, I don't know, maybe I could do this on my own. I'm doing good already. And so, what you want to do, you also want to make sure that you're documenting the value that your client said that you are providing for them in these emails, so that when you plateau, you can always reference back to, look, you said you were gaining this, your the vision statement, right? It's another proof of where you're heading. So because it's and that doesn't mean that you're being a bad coach, it's just human nature. So when you plateau, right, you can always reference people back to, one, what they said they wanted, and two, the value that they said they were gaining from each of the sessions. Is that clear? Okay. Natasha.
So, and this, forgive me if I'm going a little too far off, but and when you talk about sessions in your coaching practice, do you have participants by like a block, like a program, or do you do like by session? Because I was thinking I would have like a 6-week program with, whatever client, but the way you're describing it is like session by session. And again, forgive me if I'm kind of going a little bit too far.
Yeah, no, it's a valid question. So your question is, because I'm going session by session, you're wondering if I'm selling it session by session, or um, is the client has purchased the package. And so the question is, the answer to that is, I work in either 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, even 1 year contracts. And I'm teaching you this session by session just so you know what happens session by session. But no, I do not sell session by session, and I don't recommend that you do that either, or even saying hourly. No, like, it's packages. And the reason for that, one, is because you want to make your business scalable, right? So you want to start off, and we're going to get more detailed into that later, but at least like $1,000 packages. And also because change takes time. You're not gonna really coach someone into substantial change in 1 or 2 sessions. Like, you wanna at least give them 6 sessions, at least. Does that answer your question? Awesome. Any other questions? This is a time for questions. Insights, thoughts that you think you don't want to say, but you should. No? Okay.